Pork industry participants from around the world gathered this past week in Des Moines, Iowa for the World Pork Expo 2022. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to This Week in Agribusiness. I'm Mike Pearson, not in the studio this week. As you've noticed, I'm at the Iowa State Fairgrounds in Des Moines, Iowa for the World Pork Expo. And I've got the chance to talk with Courtney Knupp. She is the Vice President of International Market Development with the National Pork Board. And Courtney, tell me, what's it like being back in Des Moines for World Pork Expo?
It is so nice. It's the gathering of the greatest people, I think, in the entire agriculture industry, but I'm biased. Attendance is looking really good, and things that are on show, people's attitudes, it's just nice to be back to normal. So it's definitely a time where people can celebrate this great industry and the strides that we're making.
And Courtney, are there things to celebrate? It's been a tough 2 years in the hog industry, in the world as a whole. Attitudes here seem positive?
Things are good. Technology is really rolling out there, so there's a lot of interesting things to see. Pork demand is strong. We have a great story to tell, both domestic and international, so spirits are high. There are a lot of factors at play, but we love dealing with those every day and best positioning our product.
And Courtney, have you had a chance to sample some of the pork that's being offered around the grounds here this week?
So much and not enough.
That's always how it goes. Courtney, you are the Vice President of International Market Development. Of course, that international market for U.S. pork is huge. As you look out over this next year, what opportunities do you think exist for U.S. pork in the international scene?
Yeah, with strong demand and the global factors of either foreign animal disease spreading, different regions of the world coming out of COVID at different paces, and of course the situation with Ukraine, there are plenty of things to consider, but it gives U.S. pork a great opportunity. With high demand, we can position ourselves as a consistent quality supplier, and we have some of the best food safety parameters of our product, which is great. So we can backfill demand and we can increase value with our work in the ground, and we're so excited to be able to engage with customers again.
Courtney, you mentioned food safety. As an American, I don't think much about food safety. Everything I buy is pretty gosh darn safe. That's not always the case. You work with folks. How is U.S. pork competitive in that regard?
Sure. A lot of industries have challenges, whether it's outdoor production, parasites, bacteria. We regulate. We have a great system. So we produce a quality product. That's something we take for granted here, but it's something that buyers in the international sphere look for because they can't take that for granted with their domestic production. So it's something that we exploit, and we value, and we work to position our product that way. So it really works for us.
So that's something that as you're marketing U.S. pork in these countries, you can say, we have a safe supply chain, and people just listen?
They do, and we tell the story of our great production practices. We do so many things on farm every single day, whether it's biosecurity, our focus on sustainability. Those are things that international customers care about. We have the data to back it up, so they like to listen, and it really sets us apart from our competition.
Flavor, Courtney, that's one of the things that American pork has always brought to the table. Are we competitive flavor-wise with other pork from around the world?
We are. We have a great flavor profile, and one thing that we focus on in our strategic partnership with U.S. Meat Export Federation, their staff all around the world works with customers to show different cooking methods, whether it's different spices, different cuts, different ways to prepare it, and that can really increase the usage, the consumption, and that teaches people how to not only cook it the right way, but makes them more loyal, long-term customer.
That's what it's all about. Courtney, as you look out again over this summer, do you share that same optimism that a lot of the folks here have? Do you believe that U.S. pork is well poised here into 2022?
I do. I think we're going to be very competitive. There's a lot of factors at play. The strong demand is going to be really interesting, and it is the pork board's job and our producers' intention that every part of every pig is sold at the highest value in any market, whether it's home or abroad, and U.S. pork should be on that plate.
Courtney Knupp, Vice President of International Development with the National Pork Board.